T-Luke in the tight suits, everybody! Woohoo! How about that? Thank you, boys. Oh, snap. What do we got here? Look at this. Give yourselves a hand. You are awesome. Go ahead and have a seat, unless you want to stand up for the rest of the night. That's all right. I'm Jerry Miller. I'm the Senior Dean of Career Ed and Economic Development here at Santa Rosa Junior College. And it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you here to the 4th annual Celebrate Career Education. We've got a few people we'd like to introduce today. Dr. Chong, if you would introduce our Board of Trustees members who come here today.
Thank you, Jerry, and welcome. I want to introduce our Board of Trustees who's here today. We have our President, Jordan Burns, and his lovely wife, Jennifer. Thank you for being here. Representing Sebastopol and West County. We have our Vice President, Dorothy Battenfeld, representing Santa Rosa. Maggie Fishman, South County and Petaluma, where I live, for Petalumans. And representing Sonoma Valley and East County, Jeff Kundi. And last but not least, our wonderful trustee, representing Santa Rosa, Don Edgar. Did I get everybody? Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Chong. Thank you very much for coming. We love your support and really appreciate you being here. Also here today, our Executive Director of the CTE Foundation of Sonoma County, Kathy Goodacre, is here. And my counterpart from the SCO, Sonoma County Office of Education, Steve Jackson. Thank you for coming, Steve. So, hey, no rain. We got that guy going for us. Before we get started, though, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the faculty that are teaching in our programs. Please, let's get a hand for all the faculty. In particular, I want to recognize a few faculty that are retiring, who are leaving us after this semester or in December. Oh, man, stay standing.
Oh, thank you.
From our healers, Carol Patrick, Irene Hart, Ricky Beer, and of course our trustee, Kevin Chigola. Please stand, please stand. From Automotive, what are we going to do? Cliff Norton. I saw Cliff. Our farmers, growers, food providers, Leonard Diggs, our farm manager, Captain Cadet, Chef Beck, and Chef Michael Salinger. It wouldn't be able to go culinary center without Michael Salinger. Environmental resources, Casey Wade. Information communications secretary, Jeff Diamond, Robert Russo. For education, Gene Harmon and Paul Usman. Stand. Let's give them a warm welcome. This is 300 years of service to Kevin and JC. Thank you very much. You don't look what they over to. Nice. Hey, we got Senator McGuire. Mike McGuire is a great friend of the college, an alumni of the college. Also, one of our great senators who's been working with career education for many years, and Assemblyman Jim Wood have given us a proclamation, a beautiful proclamation. If Dr. Chong and Vice President Dr. James Salgani-Tali and Pedro Avila will come up, I'd like to read this proclamation from Senator McGuire and Assemblyman Jim Wood. Whereas Californians strongly desire the opportunity to attend public schools that provide exceptional career education programs that encourage all students to pursue their careers and aspirations to the fullest, and Whereas Santa Rosa Junior College career education focuses on providing students with technical and soft skills necessary to help them be successful in the workplace, and it's appropriate at this time to highlight its many achievements and underscore the positive impact it has made in our local community and beyond. And whereas founded over 100 years ago by community leaders, SRJC is pivotal of a community and higher education in Sonoma County, and over the past century has established a legacy of excellence, offering many diverse career education courses, programs that prepare students for rewarding careers, strengthen their lives, strengthen the communities, and the economy of Sonoma County. And whereas the faculty, staff, administrators of Santa Rosa Junior College are committed to making education accessible
faculty, staff,
to all,
and administrators,
and ensuring that all students are equipped for success
stronger together
in the future endeavors. SRJC Career Education helps students thrive in the competitive workforce, enhance their current employment skills, and transfer on to four-year universities. Santa Rosa Junior College is a leader in educating and training the workforce of the future, awarding skill certificates, certificates of achievement, associate degrees that are valued and recognized by the employers and industry throughout the state. No and. Be it resolved by Senator Mike McGuire and Assemblyman Member Jim Wood that they take great pride in directing special public attention to Santa Rosa Junior College career education for its significant contributions to the students within the Sonoma County Junior College District, and applaud the administrators and faculty for their untiring commitment to preparing the workforce of the future. Joint members of the resolution number 226, the 17th of May, 2019. How about a big round of applause for that? Thank you. You want to say a thank you or anything? Not a bad gift.
Hi.
Hi.
Step aside, please.
Step aside.
Please, please.
Take over, Keith.
Hell is
Hi, everybody. My name is Keith Woods. I work in a place called the North Coast Builders Exchange. We work very closely with Jerry and with the college. And I've been recruited to interrupt the proceedings here for just a couple of minutes. I can tell you the most nervous people in Sonoma County right now are Frank Chong and the trustees, who have no idea what I'm doing up here. Security. Somebody's calling security. I'm a longtime friend of and admirer of Jerry's, and I've been recruited to take just 2 minutes here to tell you a little bit about Jerry and to present something to him. I have respected and admired this man for decades. We are both proud Fresno State graduates. You are proud, aren't you?
I am, very proud.
Okay, I'm just double checking.
Harvard of the West Coast.
Harvard of the West Coast. In fact, I have a friend who had T-shirts made up for the East Coast that said, Harvard, the Fresno State of the East.
Yes.
And I thought that's a nice T-shirt to get. Dr. Chong, to trustees, all of you involved in the administration, the college itself rightfully gets a lot of credit for the single greatest career education programs in the state of California. And give yourselves a round of applause. The college receives credit, the trustees, the administration, the faculty, the great students, but there's somebody that is the wizard behind the curtain. Just like the Wizard of Oz, somebody's back there not seeking or even getting the recognition and credit they deserve for a program that I'm so proud of from a distance watching. And how do I know the program's successful? Look at this. Look at the person next to you. That's how successful this program has become. Our wizard rarely gets acknowledgement, never seeks it, but today we're going to correct that. Thanks to our great state senator, Mike McGuire. Wait a minute, picture? I got one more that I like a lot. No, one more. Go ahead, take it.
That's
All
your
right.
best. That's the best one.
Thanks to Senator McGuire, who's just so responsive to our community. There's a second resolution. I won't read it all. I'd like a round of applause for that. Yeah. I'm not going to read it, but I want you to see what I'm about to present to Gerald P. Miller. That's Jerry. That's him. I'm not sure if you even know, Jerry started in August of 1993 as a full-time faculty member, made a transition from faculty administration, and he became Senior Dean of Career Education and Economic Development in 2013. And this event here, this is his creation, and it's about time we recognize it. I've been recruited to do this when might have been somebody else, could have been anybody else, but Jerry, can you come back up here, please, for a moment? I just have to show all of you this as well. I won't read it all, but I'm going to tell you why, what Senator McGuire, bless him for this, it says at the bottom, Jerry's living legacy for career education at Santa Rosa Junior College is to celebrate career education ceremony at the end of each school year and honor students who complete career and workforce development certificates. This is the important part. The celebration that he created to recognize the success of students completing certificates and their contribution to our community. During his tenure here, over 24,000 certificates and degrees have been awarded because of the work of this man and his staff on behalf of the college. So ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, if you want to know who to blame, I'm not going to say who's responsible for this, but their names are Nancy and Audrey. Just so we're clear, and you don't blame me. Jerry Miller.
You I like.
Jerry Miller. Not only do you have my congratulations, the senator and the Senate, but you're about to get a standing ovation from almost 1,000 people. On your feet for Jerry Miller.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Yeah.
Now you can go about your business.
Oh, shit. There's only one person that can call me Gerald P. Miller, and she's sitting in the front row. It surprised the hell out of me. Now you've got me all verklempt and flustered. Thank you very much, but it's not, it isn't me. It is a team and the family and all of you students who are here now. Welcome to the Bear Cub family. Once a Bear Cub, always a Bear Cub, as I was in the 70s also. So congratulations to you, and thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's, oh, crap. This isn't good. Anywho. Let's get back to why we're really here. Oh, my goodness gracious. Our keynote today, our keynote speaker is coming back. He was our very first keynote 4 years ago. He's a best-selling author, featured White House speaker, has been acknowledged by President Barack Obama. Inc. magazine calls him high energy motivator, named it to their top entrepreneurs list. He's the poster boy from a rags to riches story, America's top young speaker, said Essence magazine. Growing up in the projects of Brooklyn, witnessing murder and imprisonment, college became his ticket out of poverty. After college, this man built a multi-million-dollar event production and education company. Now, as a professional speaker, has spoken to over 400,000 people, 401,000 people, in 48 states, 5 countries. For fun, this guy likes to dance and perform at Madison Square Gardens. He actually has 2 viral videos, one at the Ellen DeGeneres show. We all love Ellen. Please put your hand together for my friend and the man we want to hear. Welcome him back to the 2019 Celebrate CE, our keynote speaker, R.L. Moody.
Yeah. So I would like to share with you the single most important idea that I could share with you today, but the best way I can share it with you is by playing a little game. So we're all about to play a game. In a few moments, I'm going to show you how the game works, and it involves math. Yes. Okay, so here's how it's going to work, okay? In a moment, you're going to choose a partner. The best partner is probably the person sitting next to you. If it's easier for you to stand up, go ahead and do so when I ask you to. If not, you can stay in your seat, but you can't let your partner see what you're doing. Here's what we're going to do. When I ask you to, you're going to choose a number between 1 and 10 on both of your hands. 1 to 10, whatever number you choose. When I count to 3, I'm going to ask that you turn around and show that number to your partner. Your goal is to add up the total amount of numbers on your hand and the total amount of numbers on their hand and be the first person to say the total number. So, for example, if I can borrow you, if you be so kind, we're going to go back to back. On the count of 3, we're going to turn around and you're going to show me some numbers. 1, 2, 3. And I have 3 and she has 4. So I'm going to say 7. Now, if you say the wrong answer, you automatically lose that round. So you can't turn around and be like 4, 6, 9, 12, right? You have to just say the right answer the first time. Now, we're going to do a couple of rounds so it'll be easy. So if you could be so kind, please, all that can do so, please stand on up, please. Wonderful. Now, please choose your partner and go back to your partner, please. This is going to be good. If you got an odd number, you can do 3. If you cannot stand for any reason, you can still participate. Now, remember, on the count of 3, you're going to flash them, your numbers, hold them up. Don't just flash them and take them down. Hold them up. First person to answer correctly wins. If you answer incorrectly, you automatically lose that round, so make sure you're confident with your answer. Let's give it a go. We're going to do a few rounds. Here's round number 1. On the count of 3, please turn around and show it to them. 1, 2, 3. How we do? Good? Simple? All right, turn back around. Choose a different number. Okay, here we go. Turn back to back again. All right, on the count of 3, I want you to turn around and show it to them. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. All right, if there's a tiebreaker, this is going to be the tiebreaker. One last time. Let's make it good. If there's a tiebreaker, this is it. On the count of 3, please turn around and show it to them. 1, 2, 3. All right, give that person a high five. Let them know they're awesome. Grab a seat. Good job. Excellent. Was there anybody's level of anxieties that went really high? You was like, math, oh Lord, I turned my brain off. Why would you ask such a thing? Okay. Now, here's what's fascinating about this game. I really like this game for a lot of reasons because what you saw in the audience today is this representation of what I think life is. We all was presented with a game, a simple game. Now, for some of you, immediately you said, math, I'm not playing that game. I'm not participating. I'm not going to let people know I only use calculators. It's a wrap, okay? Immediately, some of us took ourselves out of the game. Immediately. Now, some of us, we said, okay, I'm not good at math, but I'll figure it out. And each round, you got better and better at it. It's fantastic. Some of us, not so much, apparently. It was like I was just throwing out. I was like, apple. I don't know. I'm just going to throw out fruit. See what happens, right? Now, here's what's interesting. Some of us, we may not have gotten better each round, but some of us chose to disengage from the game and go, well, I'm not good at it, so let me just stop. Some of us said, I'm not really good at the game, but it doesn't matter. I'm still going to have fun. Some people, you tried to trick your partner. Did anybody throw up your fingers in weird ways like that? Right? It was like, you're not going to get this number, right? Hopefully no one threw up one finger. I know someone thought about it. At least considered it. Now, did anyone, as each round went on, you started coming up with a different strategy in your head? You'd be like, all right, I'm going to go with 4. So all I have to do is add 4 to their number. They turned around and be like, I forgot my number. Right? But if you noticed, if you were engaged in the game, if you did not give up immediately, if you chose to come up with a strategy, whether you won or lost, you had fun. You were engaged with it. Now, there are some of us who said, I'm not playing a game. I'm an adult. So you chose not to engage at all. Now, here's the thing, my friends. That is life, especially in this moment as you're going into this new chapter. We were all in the same place at the exact same time with the exact same rules. Some of us chose to take this game differently than others. Now, here's what I do know. How you chose to approach it was the deciding factor in whether you had fun or whether you thought that was a waste of your time. Now, there's a percentage of you, and I'm okay with this, that thought that was a complete waste of your time. And there's a percentage of you that thought was so much fun you can't wait to do it with your kids when you go home, okay? We're going to learn math today, right? What's the difference? It has nothing at all to do with the game. It's got nothing at all to do what was presented to you, and it has everything to do with how you chose to interact with it. I believe how we do anything is how we do everything. How we approach anything is how we approach everything. I would encourage you to look at this at every moment and say, I have no idea maybe what path I'm getting into. I have no idea what life can hold for me, but here's what I know. The game doesn't matter. What matters is how you choose to respond to it. I cannot tell you what's going to happen in your life. As we all experienced here, there are things that happen that are totally outside of our control, whether it's nature, whether it's death, whether it's sickness, whether it's things that you couldn't even plan for if you wanted to. But here's what we always have 100% control over: how we choose to react to what happens to us. How we choose to take actions, regardless of what we may think is good or bad. We say, I control who I am in every situation. And here's the thing, you have no idea what step or what action is going to lead to the moment that you hit that jackpot that you want in life, whatever your definition of that is. You know, when I started out, when I was in college, I got really into entrepreneurship. Shout out to my entrepreneurship people in the front. I see you. Okay. Some people, one person in the back. Thank you. Okay. We got to stick together, apparently, right? But it was interesting because when I knew I wanted to start a business, the very first business I wanted to start was actually a food truck. Because I thought college kids love partying, they get hungry at night, let's create a food truck. Super expensive apparently to start that. I had no money, I was broke. So I was like, wow, I can't do that. And I was like, oh, do I really want to sell greasy food? Probably not aligned with my values. So I said, well, what is aligned with my values? I was like, I know. On our campus, we don't have like fresh juice and smoothies. Let's create a fresh juice and smoothie bar for my campus, because all we had really was soda, juice, water, that kind of stuff. So I got really excited about it, but then my campus told me, well, you can't do that because we have a contract with the soft drink company, so we can't allow anybody else on campus to sell, so you can't do that. And I got really bummed out about it because I thought this was going to be the genius idea. Now, as I'm planning this idea and putting the business plan together and trying my best to make this work, I totally forgot to find a place to live off campus. So the semester ends, and now I'm homeless. And I'm running around saying, how do I find a place to live? There was no easy way to do it when I was in school. That problem sparked the idea that I should start a business, a website that helps college students specifically find housing, and then roommates, and then sublets if they needed to. So that became the business that I started. And as I ran that business, if anyone's ever started a business, you know that first business you actually start, it sucks. It just doesn't go the way that you want it to. It just doesn't. It's life. So what happened is I got into a lot of credit card debt. I thought this was going to make me a multi-millionaire and my life was going to be set, and it was the opposite. And I got into this really dark, depressing place. During that time, my then girlfriend, now wife, wanted me to feel better, so she got me a book. And it was a book on student entrepreneurship. And I was a student still at the time, and I read it, and I got really motivated by it, and I was so appreciative of the author for writing it. I reached out to him, and I said, thank you so much for writing this book. It helped me get out of a dark place. I just want to say thank you. You said in the book to reach out to people, so that's what I'm doing. To my surprise, the author writes back and says, thank you so much for reading the book. It means a lot to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they responded. So I said, let me just shoot my shot. Who knows what's going to happen here? Would you like to meet up? He goes, sure. I get super excited. I meet him. We create a friendship. A couple years later, we actually start a business together. That becomes the education and event planning business that becomes the $1 million business. And literally, I had no idea that when I started this journey, I needed to go through all those iterations and all those failures to lead me to what actually changed my life and the life of my children and hopefully all of our descendants. Because what I think life is like at this point of where you are is it's a hallway. And if you can imagine a hallway that has doors on each side, you might look at the end of the hallway and say, that's the door that I want. So you take a step forward. And then you take another step forward. But now that you've stepped towards the door, there's a new door that you can see here. Can you see this in your minds? So imagine a hallway. There's a door that's the one you want. But because you step forward, you realize there's a new door that is on the side that you couldn't see from this starting point. So what I want you to remember is it's okay if you don't know what your next step is. And it's okay if what you do doesn't work out the way you thought it would. What matters more than anything else is that you keep moving forward because you have no idea what opportunities will present themselves. And I'll give you a little bonus for anyone who's interested in figuring out how do I make better decisions. Should I take this job? Should I take this job? Should I move here or should I not move? Here's one of the best ways to make a decision to help you on this process. A lot of times the way most people make choices is they say, what's the benefits, what's good, what's bad? Instead, I encourage you to ask this. If I made this choice, what would my regrets be? If I made this choice, what would my regrets be? And whichever one is the least regretful one, that might be the great choice for you. But it starts with you deciding how will you interact with life now that you've achieved this goal. And you can choose to be one of three people moving forward. Some of you have already chosen to be these people, but you didn't realize it. But now you will, and moving forward, it's your choice. There are three kinds of people. The first is the egg. Now, you take an egg, and let's take a big old pot of boiling water, and let's say that that boiling water represents the difficulties, the struggles of life. By the way, if life hasn't been getting easier for you, welcome to the club. It's not going to get easier. You just get better. Does that make sense? So let's say the pot of water represents the struggles. So it's boiling. It's hot. You take an egg. Where are my culinary folks? You put that egg into the boiling water. What happens to the egg? It turns into a hard-boiled egg. Basic breakfast 101. Were some of you unaware that it turns into a hard-boiled egg? They was like, it does? I thought it was an omelet. Okay. That's not the culinary folks. It's okay. So here's what's interesting. That egg, when exposed to heat, it hardens on the inside. It turns to a hard-boiled egg. This represents the person that when life gets difficult, they harden on the inside. They become sarcastic. They become mean. They become bitter. They don't want to try. They don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in others. They look for everything that's wrong versus seeing everything that could be and is right. There's the egg. Some of you, when you leave here, you're going to go directly into the dream job. Fantastic. Some of you are going to go directly into a four-year institution. Fantastic. Some of you are not going to know what you want to do, and maybe you might take a path that you don't love. Fantastic. There's always a purpose to it as long as you don't harden on the inside and become an egg. The second kind of person is a carrot. You take a carrot, you take that exact same pot of boiling water, and you drop that carrot in the water, and you let it sit there. What's going to happen to the carrot over time? Oh, it's going to turn to mush. It's going to go soft. This represents the person who starts out with really good intentions. The carrot's really firm in it. But then when it gets that heat, softens up. This represents the person that says, I tried once and it didn't work, so what's the point of trying again? They turn to mush. This is the person that when they're in a meeting and they have something really smart to say, they don't, because they don't trust their own self anymore, because the difficulties of life made them question who they are. This is the kind of person that when they leave here, they say, I got this certificate. Wasn't everything supposed to open up for me? How come it hasn't yet? And then they turn to mush. But there's a third kind of person, and it's simply a decision. And you can choose to be that person starting today, regardless of where you go, regardless of what happens to you. Now, you take that same pot of boiling water, but this time, what happens if you put a coffee bean in that pot of boiling water? It turns to coffee, doesn't it? What happens to the water when the coffee bean gets put into it? It gets changed. In the first two scenarios, the egg and the carrot, they are affected by the environment. The coffee bean affects the environment. It adds energy to it. It needs the heat of life to bring out the best that is in it. Here's what's even more interesting about coffee. What happens if you take a coffee bean and you just pound it and grind it and crumble it up and then you submerge it into the water? It's even more effective. You have a choice to say that regardless of what life gives me, I've got the training, I've got the skills, I've got the tools. You've put in the work. Do not doubt who you are. But you have to decide who you will be when life gives you its heat. You can either choose to be the carrot, you can choose to be the egg, or I hope you choose to be the coffee bean. Thank you. In fact, choosing to be the bean is so important, and we think education is so important that I'd like for you to do something. In your pamphlets, there is a bookmark. Go ahead and grab that for me if you haven't seen it yet. That is a gift from Santa Rosa Junior College because they care about you making sure you always remember who you really are, who you can be in any situation, because you control how you respond. You control what you bring. You can't control what happens to you. And I hope moving forward, you choose to be the bean. So do me a favor. Look at the person next to you, stare into the windows of their soul, and say, be the bean. Some of y'all like, but I love being the egg, though. Don't. It's destructive. Okay? And I'll tell you what. Where's Audrey? Where's Audrey? She's in the back. Can everyone turn around? Audrey, wave your hand. They can't see you. Can we get a round of applause for Audrey? Let me tell you why. When you talk about a coffee bean, she represents the person that where she goes, she affects the environment. She brings an energy to it. Jerry Miller is another one of those great examples. The people who decide to make a difference based on who they are and what life means to them versus what life throws at them. These are the individuals that I think represent at a deep level. Dr. Chong is a great example as well. You have great leadership. You have great examples. You have great opportunity, most importantly, by the people who came here to support you today, by the people who are watching this on the live feed. Moving forward, it's a simple decision. Will you choose to be the bean? Thank you for your time.
Great job, man. Arel Moody, everyone. Arel Moody. A big hand for Arel. Do I have a bag back there? We have some. I had a bag for him. I guess somebody ran off with it. I have a bag of swag. Oh, I have a bag of swag. Green eggs and ham. For you, we have a shirt. One of our Celebrate CE shirts. Experiences everything. One I have on here, it will look much nicer on him because he's in much better shape than I am. And of course, a water bottle. Experiences everything because experience is everything. And we got you a program. But most importantly, you got the first inaugural medallion. Please allow me to give you the second inaugural medallion. Thank you very much. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Great message. Yeah, be the bean. We're going to now introduce our students, and we'll have our supervising administrators come up for each group, and they will acknowledge their students, and they're going to tell you a little something about themselves so that you can witness what Arel was just saying. Take that leadership and how we got to where we are today. So I think starting off from Child Development, Director of Child Development, Melise Warner.
Yeah, Melise. Yeah, Melise. Yeah, Melise.
So these working? Yay, they're working. Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Melise Warner, and I'm the Director of Early Childhood Education and Teacher Development. So we've been asked to do our own story in 5 points, and in a short 3-minute time, I'm going to try and do this and talk slowly. Arel did his story, and I'm going to give you mine. I was born in Lake County to a single homeless teenage mom who dropped out of high school at 14. So, you know, child development, working forward, where did I come from? My mother then actually found me a great father, and I ended up being the oldest of 7 siblings that were born around the time starting when I was 12, so I basically had a daycare at home and taking care of all my siblings. Life didn't get that much easier for me. School was really tough. Actually, when I was in 8th grade, I could barely read at a 2nd grade level. So I was diagnosed with a learning disability, and school and life seemed like, how am I going to get through this? But I pushed forward, and I refused to let that hold me back. I told people I was smarter than they thought I was, and with the support of programs like DRD here at the JC, I pushed my way forward. I pushed through high school, I pushed through college, and I actually have 2 master's degrees now. Thank you. I didn't let anything hold me back. I tried to be that bean. I cooked myself out there, right? And then after I completed my education, I was living on the Mendocino coast with my family out in that area, and I decided I needed help in my community. So I started working with the California Rural Indian Health Board, and I helped to start a tribal Head Start. Oh, here we go. Yes. It was great. Go crib. And then after doing that program, I was like, I need to help other students like myself, other college students achieve their goals. So I set a goal for myself to push forward and help college students. And that landed me here at the Santa Rosa Junior College to help the SRGC students towards their own personal goals. So I'm very happy to be here. Now, students of the Teacher Education and Child Development Department that are getting certificates in Associate Teacher and Teacher certificates, please stand up. Please stand up. Come on, everyone stand up. We got sashes on. And your escorts, we have the faculty members. We have Alice Hampton, Paul Mooseman, Jeannie Harmon, and Linda Maloney. Please stand up. Just a big round of applause for them. So what I'd like to say to everyone, I want you to believe in yourself. Keep applying yourself every day, and if you hit a roadblock, push forward. Find support systems in your community and work towards your goals. We are behind you, holding you up towards your future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Melise. You just heard Melise's path to this platform. This is mine.
I'm Deborah Chigazola, Dean of Health Sciences. I started as a college track student in high school, but nearly gave my counselor a heart attack 2 weeks before graduation when I informed him I'm not going to college. I'm getting married. You know, I'm 18 years old. I know everything, right? In addition, my parents told me they didn't really have the funds for me to go to college, that really only boys need to go to college. So I went to work, and after working 1.5 years in a dental office, I decided I needed to go to college to earn a degree in healthcare. As a first-generation college student from a lower middle-class family, I graduated from Sacramento City College. It took me 5 years to get through the local community colleges, but I earned my associate degree in dental hygiene. After passing my national board dental hygiene, it gave me the confidence to move forward and support myself in a career in healthcare. I got divorced at that period of time. I continued on with school, working with dental hygienists and completing my bachelor's degree in health and safety with an emphasis in community health. After that, I met my current husband, Don, and when we were newlyweds, we moved here to Santa Rosa. I got involved with volunteer work through the Redwood Dental Hygienists Society, served as president, and many other roles, including a liaison to the Dental Programs Task Force here and advisory board at Santa Rosa Junior College. I continued to work full-time as a dental hygienist. This led to an opportunity to teach as an adjunct, get my master's in education, become a full tenured faculty member here, and current role as Dean of Health Sciences. So it's my pleasure to introduce the students in the following health science programs, along with their faculty escorts. So please stand. Certified Nurse Assistant, Sherry Labrador, and students. Dental Assisting in Dental Hygiene, Carol Hattrick, Cheryl Smith, Jennifer Poovey, Jennifer Apokas-Kirk, and Cindy Fleckner. Certified Dietary Management and Dietary Technicians, Jill Harrison, Jill Tarver, and Tammy Sakanashi. Medical Assisting, Catherine Slesser and Ron Redmond. Pharmacy Technician, Dr. Ahmad Dean. Healthcare Interpreter, Ron McDowell, and Vocational Nursing, Dr. Scott Meal. Please all stand up. So humor me, since Jerry said I'm retiring. I call this my words of wisdoms, are to strive to make a difference. You have so much to offer the world with your unique person and skills. It has worked for me to follow my heart and stay involved and connected with your community, which includes SRJC. Seek out your path because you can make a difference. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Collins. I'm Associate Dean with the Public Safety Training Center. Please excuse the flamboyant nature of my garb, but I could not think of a more appropriate ensemble to represent the public safety CTE programs that operate out of the Public Safety Training Center in Windsor. And public safety groups, would you please stand? All right. Just some of the groups include the EMS, Probation, Law Enforcement, Park Ranger, and Corrections Academies, Children in the Criminal Justice System, First Responder, EMT, Paramedic programs, and of course, wait for it, Fire Academies. Please give these graduates a round of applause. And you may be seated now. When I contemplate the CTE public safety programs we deliver, I'm really reminded of the words of Mark Twain, who famously said, "I never let my schooling interfere with my education." Well, let's face it. Where else can you get college credit, earn a certificate, and have a job placement rate exceeding 90% for learning how to take down a bad guy, treat accident victims, be taught how to drive an ambulance or squad car, and of course, learning how to extinguish a vegetation or structure fire. To give Mark Twain his credit, this is not schooling, this is education, and we're talking the fun and exciting kind. The kind that gives you the skills to bring order to chaotic situations and the satisfaction that every day you will be helping people on what is probably their worst day of their lives. Now, I stand here today as someone who has been blessed to have experienced a long public safety career, even though the fire service I entered 39 years ago is much different from the one today. But the path I chose to get there is very much the same that you're facing. I began my career by walking into a fire station to offer my services when I heard they were looking for volunteers. At that time, I was working full-time, attending college at night, and my sole intention was to serve the community, not the pursuit of a professional firefighting career. Until I graduated, I received a job offer out of the area. I served that department and found it so rewarding. I became a volunteer firefighter in the community where I landed my new job. And when I began to lose interest in the field I studied, if you can believe that, I became a volunteer firefighter, or when I began to lose interest in that field, I began to pursue, with no doubts, that I wanted to become a firefighter, and I returned to school to get my EMT and fire science degree. The next step was to begin applying for jobs in what was then a very competitive field. I often found myself in a convention center with 500 other candidates taking hiring exams, but persistence paid off. In 18 months after testing with scores of agencies, I landed 2 jobs in the exact same day. Now, to end on a serious note, what was true for me pursuing that career 36 years ago is even more so today with things like climate change and the new abnormal that is upon us, and that many of you have experienced personally. This, however, has resulted in an increased demand for all public safety personnel, which equates to more job opportunities for you. So the lesson here is, if you are persistent, I have no doubt you will be successful. And if you are choosing a public safety career, you will be selecting one of the most rewarding jobs you can have. Thank you.
Well done.
Hi everyone, my name is Lee Collier. I'm a Senior Dean of Counseling and Student Success. You just heard Randy's story there. Here's my path coming to the stage. I was born in Shanghai, China. I grew up in a family where both my parents worked in factories, sometimes at night, sometimes day. And the family of 7 lived on about $15 worth of total income, 7 people. And we lived in a tiny apartment, no heat in the winter, no air conditioning in the summer. It was miserable in those weathers. But my sister and I, we have 3 kids in the family. My older brother, 3 years older, and he always liked to do lots of crafty things. My sister and I were more bookies. We liked books, so we got every book can come to our way. We just devour it. And we didn't have toys, no TV, nothing. My mother made our clothes, everything. And every year she makes a Chinese Lunar New Year is a time you can get your new clothes. So she will make a clothes that the sleeves are this long. So next year you'll come a little bit closer. The 3rd year it's perfect, and it's a baggy too. But we loved it. We treasured it. We put those clothes away after New Year, so next year it can look still pretty new. But our family is really, really supportive of that. Our study. My mom and dad, and they never said to us, why are you keeping on reading books? Why don't you do this or that? But we did our duties. We did all the house chores and everything. But we spent the rest of the time in studying and reading. In the hot summer days, when we have no air conditioning, sitting in the narrow alley, we call it riding the coolness, because you have a little bit breeze outside your little tiny apartment. And my sister and I loved to play game. And one of the games is a game called a Game of 24. Game of 24 is a number game. So I love the game, and when you said, let's play the game. So the game is each of us have 2 cards, and we'll lay out a card at the same time. And with these four numbers in front of us, we need to figure out the ways to come to 24, whatever way you can come. 3 times 8, 4 times 6, and 3 times 5 plus 9, whatever way you come. So we train ourselves. We love that game. Then in the cold weather, we lie in under the blankets, and we play the word games and thinking about the idioms we have learned and try to patch them together. So we made the time for whatever we could at that time, and our efforts really paid off. At that time, college wasn't even a choice. But luckily, by the time we got to high school, we got a chance to take a very rigorous national college entrance exam. And if you do well, you can get to college for free. We both did. My twin sister and I, we got exactly the same points total for the 7 subjects. It was 3 grueling hard days. It was hard, 7 subjects and 3 hard days. And some people just fainted under the heat stroke. But we persevered. We got into the college, but now the time is to accept it or not. My sister was adamant. She always wanted to study chemistry, and she got into the university of her dream. I got into the engineering school that I wanted to do design. But at a point, whether to go or not, looking at how much cost it still will be for food and everything, I wavered. I was wavering between going to college and just go work in a factory like my parents did. I don't know how much you're thinking my parents talked and did. After a few days, my mom came to me and said, "It won't be fair. You two work the same hard and got the same score. You both were good students, and she goes to college and you go to factory, your life won't be the same." And my mother, she didn't go to school at all. And my father got to about 5th grade. So I was just, every time I think about that, I'm thinking about the sacrifice my parents have made and to support us to go to both kids to go to college with such a poor family, no financial income to really, support us. And I really, really, really appreciate it. And I think each of us in our lives, we have some people support us, right? You have worked hard to come to this stage, and you just need to persevere and follow your dream. So I'm here to ask students in human services. We have advocacy certificate, and we have also alcohol and drug. Would you please stand up? All right. And then we have fabulous faculty, Jerry Tao. Yes. So congratulations for your achievement. And you have worked hard to come to today. And I want to encourage you, continue to follow your dream. Follow your heart. Yes. And you keep in your mind, you have people in your life who will always support you. So best luck for your future endeavor. Congratulations.
My name is Benjamin Goldstein, and I am the Dean of Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Culinary Arts. So I'm going to follow, yes, oh, there'll be some time to clap, don't worry. I'm going to follow Franklin Roosevelt's advice on public speaking and be sincere, be brief, and be seated. Was not planned in advance by any means. On the surface, I definitely have the pedigree for success. I have loving parents, excellent family, a great education, served in the Obama administration, became a community college dean, homeowner, husband, and proud father. But there were darker detours on my path that I don't typically disclose. A near fatal car accident, an alcoholic parent, bankruptcy and foreclosure, divorce, and growing up maybe a little bit too fast. Now, it's not particularly comfortable to stand in front of like 1,000 people and share these details. But having got to know many students here at SRJC in my time, I know that you too have overcome a lot, many hurdles, many of the same challenges. So if I can do this, so can you. A very famous quote that I just found on the internet about an hour ago says that life is a journey, not a destination. And I think Arel Moody echoed that same sentiment. So as you've heard, nobody's journey here is smooth or straight. Life is rocky, it's bumpy, it's curvy. You're going to get banged up. But that journey is also beautiful. So to borrow Arel's metaphor, let's make some coffee and take a ride, all right? Students and devoted faculty in the Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Culinary Arts departments representing the following programs. Please stand up as I call your name. Culinary Arts, Baking and Pastry, Restaurant Management, Front House, Dining Room Service, Brewing, Environmental Horticulture, Floral Design, Natural Resources, Equine Management, Sustainable Ag, Vet Tech, Viticulture, Pest Control, Agribusiness and Wine Studies. Please stand up. Students, we're honored that we have shared part of your journey here at SRJC, and we're proud that you received a great education here, but you have also taught us all something about perseverance and grit and determination and hard work. So thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Benjamin. So my journey here starts kind of like you are sitting here now with a couple of certificates. I'm Kerry Lowen. I'm the Dean of Arts and Humanities. And my first certificate was a radio broadcasting certificate, and that led to me being a DJ. So if you'd like me to talk about the weather, I'd be happy to do that. I had gigs in San Jose, in Seattle. I thought my career was all set. And then I was replaced by a robot. Seriously, I was replaced by automation robots that came in and put almost every DJ in the country out of business. So all of a sudden, with this new career I had was dead. But no, I just walked out of that door, went down the next hallway, and kept going and found a new door. This time I got another certificate. This was in film and video. And this was when we were back shooting on film, editing on tape. And I spent the next 10 years working on TV commercials. And that was kind of fun, but then I got bored. And I said, you know what, there's all this new digital stuff happening, and I want to find out about that. So I stepped out of that door, and I kept going down that hallway. Thank you for the metaphor, by the way. I much appreciate that. And so I decided to go back to school. Finished my BA degree, went straight into graduate school at San Francisco State University, got my MFA. And then that led to all these other doors that I never knew existed. I'm going to keep referring to this because it was so great. That's exactly what happened to me. And it's what's going to happen to you. You're going to have problems, you're going to have failures, and you just learn from them. You get up and you walk out that door and you go down the next one, and it's going to be great. So anyway, enough about me. This is about you. Students in the Fashion Studies program, Fashion Design Assistant, and Fashion Merchandising, along with your faculty escorts, Lyra Bobo, Hillary Heaviside, and Robin Spencer Crompton, please stand up. Students in the Digital Filmmaking program, along with your faculty escort, Brian Antonson, please stand up. Students in Journalism and Digital Journalism program, along with your faculty escort, Ann Belden, please stand up. And students in the theater arts programs, acting, makeup, costuming, Stagecraft and Theater Management, along with your faculty escorts, Mary Ann Scazzari, Laura Downing-Lee, Leslie McCauley, and Robin Spencer-Crompton, please stand up. So I'm going to leave you all with two pieces of advice. One, emails and social media are forever, so be careful. And second, treat everyone with respect because you never know who your next boss will be. I challenge all of you to remain lifelong learners. This ceremony is not the end. It's not the end of your learning. It's simply the beginning. Congratulations to all.
Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Catherine Williams. I'm the Dean of Instruction for the Petaluma campus, and this is how you can become a Dean of Instruction in 5 easy steps. Ready? Step 1, crawl into a bottle at the age of 14, somehow graduate high school in a daze, go to UC Santa Cruz and major in better living through chemistry, at a school where clothing is optional and you get pass-fail grades. Step 2, hit bottom at age 19, enter recovery, what's up human services, move home, attend a California community college while you rebuild your life from scratch, grow, heal, cry, drink coffee, I'm the bean, people, I'm the bean, smoke cigarettes, not anymore, ride a motorcycle, live, laugh, learn. Step 3, transfer, graduate with a bachelor's in psychology. Get your first job with benefits at an adolescent drug treatment center. Realize you have no idea how to do clinical work. Go to graduate school. Step 4, get a master's degree. Start teaching college at the age of 25, even though you have never taken a class on how to teach. Find a mentor. Ask questions. Do 3,000 hours of clinical training and feel like you're faking it the whole time. Find a clinical mentor. Ask questions. Write a lot, get a PhD, study a lot, get a license from the state. Find your partner, have kids, and focus on raising kids and teaching even though you don't know how to do either things. Fall in love with Santa Rosa Junior College and the California Community College system that makes positive life changes available for everyone. Achieve tenure as faculty, and yet know for 2 years that you are meant to be of service to your community in another way, yet have no idea what that way is. 2 years, live, laugh, connect, pray. Step 5, here we are, people. See this job opening and don't even consider applying because you have no direct job experience, yet take advice from a respected colleague who believes in you when you don't believe in yourself. And apply and write a 3-page cover letter that describes how you are capable of doing a job that you have never done before. 3 pages, and my thanks to Dr. Jane Saldana-Talley and Dr. Chong for making it through that 3-page cover letter. Land the job as dean and start a new career, one that you never considered, one that you never took a job for. And find mentors, ask questions. Love this job every day and hope that the small acts I do help you move through your steps. My people on the Petaluma campus, please stand up when I call your name. Wastewater treatment and water utility, Chris Murray. Cisco certification in CCNA with Michael McKeever. Fitness, Nutrition, and Health with Tara Jacobson, and Yoga 200-hour teacher training with Andrea Thomas and Vinona Orr. And anyone who's earning an associate's degree this weekend, congratulations. Please know it is my honor to be with you today to celebrate your accomplishment. Today I celebrate the courage you showed when you showed up and faked it anyways. I celebrate your mentors and loved ones who believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself. And I celebrate your desire to be of service to your community in the way that is just right and true to who you are. Congratulations.
Gracias, Dr. Catherine Williams. Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Nancy Miller. Soy la directora de los programas regionales de Educación para Adultos. Y es un honor estar con ustedes. Por favor, pónganse de pie todos los estudiantes en los siguientes certificados de Educación para Adultos, como también sus representantes Araceli Vázquez y Marlene García. Ahora vamos a reconocer a todos ustedes que han terminado certificados en ESL, Computación Básica, Negocios Pequeños, Construcción y Jardinería. Ustedes acaban de terminar el camino hacia la plataforma. Mi camino hacia esta plataforma no fue tradicional. Primero asistí a la universidad para ser diseñadora de moda y gerente de negocio, pero me di de baja cuando me casé. Trabajé en varios puestos dentro de la industria de moda, desde ventas en las tiendas, oficina de compras, gerencia y eventualmente fui gerente de una tienda y entrenadora empresarial. Dejé de trabajar después de tener gemelos y regresé a la universidad para terminar mi título en Ciencias Políticas. Desde entonces he trabajado en varias posiciones nuevas dentro de organizaciones gubernamentales, estableciendo maneras empresariales para trabajar con equipos directivos y funcionarios electos para cambiar operaciones y mejor servir a la comunidad. Comencé mi carrera en educación hace 18 años, trabajando con preparatorias y negocios para desarrollar caminos educativos para guiar a los estudiantes de la preparatoria hacia la universidad y finalmente el empleo. Aprendí cómo escribir para subvenciones para conseguir fondos para los programas que eventualmente me llevaron a conectarme con el mundo de la educación para adultos. No obtuve mi maestra hasta después de los 55 años de edad. Durante los últimos 7 años he disfrutado el aprender y trabajar con educadores adultos de todo el país, quienes tienen un gran impacto en las vidas de los estudiantes a quienes sirven. Lo que quiero que tomen de esto es que no tienen que estar en una sola carrera toda la vida. Educación para adultos y los colegios comunitarios tienen muchos programas para aprender habilidades nuevas que les pueden permitir tener un mejor futuro profesional y un mejor salario. Descubran lo que les gusta y ganan dinero haciéndolo. Nunca se es demasiado viejo para regresar a la escuela. Felicidades por sus logros académicos.
You've just heard Nancy Miller's path to this platform. I'm Victor Tam. I'm the Dean of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, and part-time member of the Village People. Here's my path. I'm a first-generation college graduate and grew up in a small rural town in Central California. I had few, if any, role models and never knew how transformative a college education could be. I decided to leave the safety of my hometown to go to the Bay Area for college at Berkeley. This was the big leagues. Step 2. When I arrived at college, I was not prepared. My high school, in comparison to my classmates, was a joke. I took little college prep classes. My parents didn't help me with my college essay. I didn't have SAT tutors. The first day I walked into Berkeley, I was taken aside and put in a support program because, as I was told, based on my background and where I came from, I most likely would not finish college. Step 3. Long hours, multiple jobs, and internships, and 4 years later, I finished college. Now was the choice between work or graduate school. My then girlfriend asked for me to stay in the Bay Area and work. I decided to move down to Southern California for graduate school and do a long distance relationship. In hindsight, I made the right choice. I found out later she cheated on me. No. Not bitter, not bitter. Step 4. Graduate school is difficult, not only for the rigor, but for the environment. I was told I did not belong in the program because of who I was. Many times I felt defeated, but I did not give up, eventually earning my doctorate in 5 years. Step 5. So here's the good news. After graduation, moving back to the Bay Area, I met my amazing wife and landed great jobs in education. We get to live in beautiful Sonoma County and raise our 2 little ones while at the same time helping others benefit from the transformative experience that is college. Now about you. Many of our students here are currently working, but for those that are in attendance, students in the civil engineering technology, geospatial technology, and surveying technology programs who are represented by students for our coordinator, Reg Parks. Please stand up. Students in the mechatronics program, which encompasses industrial maintenance, automation, and electronic technology, along with our faculty escort, MJ Papa, and partner in crime, Danny Millsba. Please stand up. And students in the interior design program, along with your faculty escort, Robert Grandmason, representing coordinator Sherry Canepa, please stand up. In life, people will tell you you do not belong, you can't do it, or you're not worthy. You will feel pressures and obligations, family, financial, and emotional. The path through life is not easy. No one ever said it was. But never be afraid to chart your own course or go against the status quo. Sometimes you have to in order to get what you want. Congratulations to you all. You are an inspiration to me, to SRJC, and to the lives of the people you've touched and will touch. Thank you, and go Bear Cubs.
All right.
Good evening. I'm Josh Adams, and it is my privilege to be the Dean of Business and Professional Studies. I'm from Cloverdale, California, and when I was a kid, I don't remember once ever thinking, I want to be a dean when I grow up. Imagine my surprise that it's truly one of my dream jobs. Like some, I chose to drop out of high school after my junior year. I moved to the Bay Area and worked in the IT field fixing net servers. Well, during the dot-com crash, I found myself changing careers, and I found my true passion in life in education as a teacher. While teaching information technology for the United States Coast Guard as a civilian, a mentor encouraged me to go back to school. Listening to them, I started and completed my associate's, bachelor's, and master's degree in just over 5 years. It was because of that that doors opened, and I found myself working for Santa Rosa Junior College, which is one of the best places I've ever worked. Through my journey, a quote from one of my favorite authors has always rung true. The most important step a person can take, it's not the first step, is it? It's the next one, always the next step. Congratulations to the following students who have completed their programs and are ready for your next steps. Would the students and faculty in the following programs please stand up? Administrative Assistant with faculty Katie Cedar. Accounting, Bookkeeper, and Payroll with faculty members Dr. Gina Lord, Dr. G, and Breck Withers. Entrepreneurship with Bill Cummings. Hospitality Management with Al Yu. Business Marketing and Management with Katie Cedar. Real Estate with Steve Herndon. Human Resource Administration with Eleanor Webster. Graphic Design with Summer Winston. Digital Media, 3D Modeling and Animation with Mike Starkey. Web Design and Computer Studies with Ethan Wild. Welding Technology with Dave Lemmer. Diesel Equipment Technology with Jesse Costin and Cliff Norton. Automotive Technology with Cliff Norton. Nice. And last but not least, Machine Tool Technology with Bill McCracken. Congratulations.
I've got some good news. I'm the last dean to go. You've heard Josh's story. My name's Brad Davis. I'm the Dean of Workforce Development. And my story starts with that door right there. How many people have been into the JC before? What was that door? Right, buybacks. I was 15 and a half years old and my parents had plans for me that I didn't have, and that was to work. I had to go work in that bookstore and I had to do buybacks. And when you do buybacks, most of the time you get to say no. Be a 15-and-a-half-year-old saying no to a college student who just spent what would probably cost as much as a used car on a book, you learn customer service very quickly. After that, I took some part-time jobs here on campus, and in 1998, I was hired as an adjunct instructor in the Business Office Technology Department, teaching computer classes at what then was the Coddingtown Center, for those of you who remember that. I was also a big fan of wine. Where's the wine studies? My fellow cork dorks. Awesome. When I worked in the wine industry, people say, what do you do? I drink wine for a living. Really? I don't get that job. I worked part-time for wineries, and part-time here, as you know, to live in Sonoma County, it takes kind of working part-time in multiple areas. I got my Level 2 Court of Master Sommelier certification and started teaching wine classes in the Community Education Department in 2001. I got hired to teach in the wine studies program. I had a wine fridge in my office. It was the coolest thing. People kept asking me, is that real? Yeah, it really is. I worked in 2 different departments, now the Business Office Technology Business Department and then the wine studies. And that's what I did to make ends meet. You had to. You live in Sonoma County, right? And then the 5th step, I saw the job posting to go into management, working for this guy right here named Jerry Miller, which is one of the only reasons I actually applied for that job. And I got it. So I'm not going to ask you guys in my area to stand up quite yet. I'm just going to give you this little parting story. For those of you who went to commencement last year, Gayla Barron was up here, one of the Sonoma County's foremost historians, talking about her speech. It was titled Pathways, literally. I had to call and ask yesterday to make sure. That's Annalee Hall, that's Burbank Auditorium, and the story goes back when the president of the college, and it was not Dr. Chung, when the president of the college was here years and years ago when those 2 buildings were built, the architect went up to Dr., I think it was Bailey at the time, and said, where do you want the paths to be? Because we'll put them there. And he said, no, let's wait a little bit. Wait for the students to form them, and then put the paths there.
Thought that's kind of interesting. So my parting advice to you guys, paths. Don't let anybody tell you what your path is. Find it on your own. Once you do find it, follow it with passion. Realize it may not go where you think it's going to go, but wherever it does go, do it with resolve and do it with passion. Again, that's my advice to you. So my area, it's a little different. I don't have a one area, but any of the students out here who took a work experience class, who did a community involvement class, did an internship as part of your job, please stand up along with your faculty coordinators, Lena Herr and Laura Lynn Larson. As you know, being an internship and doing all that, that's extra work on top of your program. And it's important because you get to do what you're doing in your program. So again, my name is Brad Davis. That's my story. I want to congratulate all of you, and on with the party.
So that brings us to the halfway point of our ceremony this evening, and
I'm freezing up here.
Everyone stand and get your medallion out. Turn to your right or turn to your left. Face one of your neighbors. This medallion represents your accomplishments, your hard work, and your perseverance. Place the medallion over your neighbor's neck and tell them out loud, you are awesome!
You are awesome! Go Bear Cubs!
How about that? Well, it was a great evening tonight. I'm really I'm very proud and honored, a little humbled, a little surprised. No, I'm a lot surprised. This is fantastic. You heard about everyone's journey. My journey started at 11 delivering newspapers, was a dishwasher, a janitor, worked on a paving crew. I, like you, studied here at Santa Rosa Junior College in the 70s. My first real job was a civil engineering technician. I transferred to the Harvard of the West Coast, Fresno State, received a bachelor's degree, became a licensed professional land surveyor. After working in the industry, I came back to SRJC to be an instructor. Taught for 19 years, studied, received my own master's, finally becoming the best job I've ever had, the senior dean of career education at Santa Rosa Junior College. That journey and the changes that come with it are very frightening. They're coming to an end, but it's also very exciting. How many of you feel frightened right now with the challenges before you? Raise your hand. How many of you are excited about the challenges before you? If you're a little afraid and a little excited, you're on the right path. Life can be scary at times. It can also be very exciting. Embrace those feelings. Embrace what awaits you. Change is all a part of life. Be thankful for those changes. Say thank you for what you've achieved. Say thank you to your instructors, to your family, to your friends. Say thank you for the hard times. They make you appreciate the good. Say thank you for the lessons that you've learned that allowed for your development. Say thank you for your drive, your spirit, your strength. Now go show your thanks and take that rose that was given you today and give it to somebody who made something for you so that you got to where you were today. Decide right now you're going to live your dreams and never settle. Choose to be the bean. Be afraid and be excited. And remember this, I believe in you. We all here, your family, your instructors, we believe in you. You believe in you. Thank you for coming. Good night. God bless. Celebrate.